This herby, lemony, oven baked one pot chicken and veg is exactly what you need in your life. The meat falls off the bone, the pan juices make for the most amazing gravy, and the oven does most of the work for you. Hi everyone, I'm Aru, and here's how I made this roast chicken and veg. Start off by making the marinade for the chicken. For this, I'm using a whole bulb of garlic. If you guys have been following along, you know that I love my garlic, and any recipe that calls for like 2 cloves of garlic always gets 3 times that quantity when I make it. We are also using about a knob of ginger along with some olive oil and the juice of a whole lemon. The lemon is what gives this chicken and especially that gravy that nice tang. Pop all of that into the blender and then season it with some salt, pepper, and some mustard. I'm using honey mustard just because that's what I have at home. Add in a generous spoon of paprika powder just to bring in a little bit of warmth. And then go in with some herbs. I'm adding dried parsley to this, but you can add fresh if you have it. Actually, even some fresh coriander would work very well in this marinade. And then finally go in with some whole grain mustard. Give this a blitz until everything is blended and combined into a thick, saucy marinade. You can tweak this marinade to your liking. You can go heavy on the herbs or even heavy on the spices depending on how you like your chicken. Wash and dry the chicken. I'm using whole legs here with the skin on. Pat the chicken dry with some kitchen towel and get rid of any of the excess moisture. Pop the chicken into an oven-proof dish or baking tray. Use a baking tray that's pretty big because we are adding the veg to this later. Don't worry if it looks like the dish is way too big right now. You need to have enough space to add everything in so that it won't be overcrowded. And then pour that entire marinade on top of the chicken. Really rub that marinade into the chicken, making sure that you get it under the skin as well. The marinade is what gives all that delicious flavor to your chicken. Actually, it's better to put a few slits on the meat so that the marinade really gets in there. Once your chicken is very well coated, set it aside to marinate for a minimum of half an hour. But obviously, the longer the better. You can even do this the night before or the morning of and then just leave the chicken in the fridge so that the marinade really gets in there. Plus, that way you just have to pop in some root veg and pop this into the oven for a little before you eat it. While your chicken is marinating, prep the rest of your veg. I'm just using some carrots, potatoes, and onions for this roast, but most root veg would work very well with this. Actually, if you want to make this an even more hearty meal, you can add a little bit of rice to the base of the pan. Similar to how I made the baked chicken rice recently. I'm linking the baked chicken rice recipe here. But please subscribe to Arubakes so that you don't miss out on any of the easy recipes that I put up. Cut the top off the bulb of garlic, but let the bulb be intact without pulling the cloves apart. For the onion, cut the edges off, remove the skin, and cut it up into wedges. Wash the potatoes and carrots very well because we are keeping the skin on for this roast. Get rid of any dirt and sand and then cut the potatoes into long wedges and the carrot also into similar sized wedges. Season the veg with some salt, a bit more paprika powder, and some olive oil. Rub this all over the veg, making sure that some of the layers of the onion also get some of that seasoning. By this time, the chicken should be done marinating. Turn the oven on to 180 Celsius and let that preheat while you finish prepping everything. Give the chicken a quick mix again to rub a bit more of that marinade into the meat. This way you can re-rub any marinade that has slowly slid off the chicken while it's just been sitting there. Pop the veg into the same baking dish. Coat the veg in some of that marinade as well. Make sure to distribute the veg fairly evenly around and under the chicken. This is why we are using a baking dish that originally looked like it was way too big for this. Once all the veg is tucked in nicely, pop the bulb of garlic in the middle, cut side down. Then pour in the stock to cover the chicken and veg till about halfway. The stock will help everything cook without drying out, plus you end up with the most delicious pan juice gravy with no extra effort needed. Add some fresh rosemary if you have it, and then pop this into the oven to bake for about 50 minutes. Just check it on it halfway through. And there you have it, a hearty one-pot roast chicken and veg with the easiest gravy. You can eat this as it is or serve this over some rice or with some bread on the side to dip into that gravy. So easy to make and also so easy to wash up after, which makes for the perfect weeknight dinner, you guys. As always, please like this video and follow along for more. Bye!